I'm Connor Wallace, and today on Teen Perspective 2 News, a competition with vehicles made from scraps and materials. Tune in to find out more about the kinetic sculpture race.
I'm Jack Jankowski. As the summer heats up, nothing cools you down better than ice cream. Stick around to learn more about the newest technology ready to freeze your taste buds.
I'm Janae Morris. As the school year closes, so does TMP. See how students of the program feel about their experiences this past year. Teen Perspective 2 News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Teen Perspective 2 News. I'm Brita Miller.
And I'm Jessica Carnavali. Some people spend their Cinco de Mayo eating tacos or celebrating in sombreros, but for others, the holiday has a much deeper meaning. Teen Perspective's Brita Miller has a story on a holiday road race with an honorable goal.
Each year, hundreds of runners, walkers, and advocates flock to the power plant in Baltimore for the Fiesta 5K. The race helps raise awareness for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as ALS. The disease attacks muscles in the body, which degenerate, and voluntary movement becomes more and more limited over time. Currently, there is no cure, but these families have hope that with continual support, a cure can be found. Around 900 people have shown their support of ALS by participating in the annual Fiesta 5K. While some are attending to comfort friends, others have a more personal story with the disease. Sean Radcliffe was just 19 when his father passed away from ALS, and it still affects his family today.
So our dad was diagnosed in 2009 with ALS, and he passed away in July of 2011, so roughly a 2.5-year battle with it.
Sean's older brother Colin relates what it was like to have a family member going through the disease.
As he went through this process, our whole family pitched in, and it was just a struggle for all of us, and just watching him go through this hard-fought battle.
Families have all come here to join together for this great cause. 14 and 20-year-old brothers Alec and Max Uhas have a story of their own.
Well, my uncle died a couple years ago from ALS, long battle with it, and so that's when we really just started to get involved when he was diagnosed and stuff. And now we're running for our friend Dwayne, who is also fighting with ALS.
The boys and their parents are very involved in the race itself.
When our uncle was diagnosed, they started working with the Packard Center to help start the race. We were, part of the groups with the founding donations and stuff like that, and we've been running this race for 7-8 years.
It's obvious that everyone here is in support of each other. Since its start in 2007, the race has raised $2.8 million, and this year alone, over $184,000. To sign up for next year's race and to learn more about ALS, visit support.alscenter.org.
More than half of teens and adults who died in a car crash in 2015 were unbuckled during the crash. Last October, a 16-year-old Kaylee Mills was killed in a car accident after unbuckling her seatbelt to take a selfie. Kaylee Mills' parents recently created a foundation to emphasize the importance of wearing a seatbelt. For more information, check out KayleeMillsFoundation.org.
In the last decade, more than 68,000 teens have died in car crashes. In Randallstown, the community has taken action to keep their students safe. Teen Perspective 2 News' Morgan Clark reports how Randallstown High School is fighting the issue.
I had an opportunity to talk to multiple people at Randallstown High School's Safe Teen Driving Fair on May 12th about teen driving and how the community plans to keep its teens safe. SAD is on a mission to keep its students safe, not only by using driving fairs, but also by using technology.
We have vendors come out, we have the state police, and we have state troopers, and we have driving simulators and gaming trucks, all geared around types of driving.
For some, the day can be filled with fun. But for Simone Bird, events like this are ways to educate the community. Bird's daughter died in a car crash. Her foundation works to keep tragedy from happening to others.
It's called the Diamond Chantel Dancer Legacy Foundation. We're a nonprofit charitable organization that was started after the tragic, the transition of my only child, Diamond, on May the 11th, 2015. We started this to continue Diamond's wishes and her legacy, and we wanted to continue to uplift, empower, and inspire young women in the community. And I just feel like if we take those couple of steps and just promise ourselves that today we're gonna get into this car, we're gonna put on our seatbelt, we're not gonna let our friends drive without a seatbelt, we're not gonna drive with anyone under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Ms. Bird also supports the mission of SAD.
Students against destructive decisions are very important, not only during prom time, but the whole entire year. It's a very impactful organization. I mean, I can remember it from years ago, you know, I think having children or young adults physically see these cars and the simulations down there, like this really can happen to you.
This annual event isn't just important to Simone. Students like Quiera Wilkerson also take the driving fair seriously.
Driving is dangerous regardless of what age you are. And so this event really teaches people at a young age how important driving safety is to everyone, not only here in Randallstown, not only here in Maryland. I would definitely encourage them to come, to show up, you know. You can learn so many things, support vendors and the community.
For more information on next year's Teen Driving Fair, visit WMAR.com/T-Media. For Teen Perspective 2 News, I'm Morgan Clark.
Are you planning to vote this year? It's going to be a big year for politics. In Maryland, Larry Hogan is running for re-election. Almost all congressional seats are up for grabs, 188 General Assembly seats will be elected, and many local governments will hold their elections too. If you'll be 18 by November 6th, be sure to register to vote online by October 16th. If you'll be away at college and can't make it to the polls, you can easily request one online with a driver's license.
Over the past 10 years, advanced placement exams have become very popular. The College Board reports the number of public school grads who have taken an AP test and the number who have placed a 3 or greater on the AP exam has increased by 70%. More than 1.17 million students took an AP test in 2017. Are you one of these students? Teen Perspective's Lexi Silverman has a scoop for you about different factors that may affect your scores.
With AP exams coming to a close and final seasons just beginning, many teens are thinking a lot about testing. Pressure for perfection has already caused some to cheat. Fear of failure has caused tests and anxiety in others. And interested experts are conducting new studies on test takers' motivation. After the first AP test this year, College Board uncovered a cheating scandal. East Coast students were suspected of calling West Coast students and giving them answers. Because of the time difference, the West Coast kids hadn't started the exams yet. To fix the problem, the next test takers were required to remain in their rooms for an extra 30 minutes until the West Coast exams had begun. Do you panic when taking your exams? Don't fret. You could have what's called test anxiety. And you're not alone. Recent studies from the University of Illinois show that more than 41% of test takers experience some level of anxiety before taking a test. Here are some ways to ease your stress. Before your exam, ask for a supportive message from any social media network. It helps decrease anxiety and increase your performance on the exam. According to a recent study conducted by economics and several U.S. universities, motivation is the key to success. When compared to the rest of the world, it seems Americans aren't very motivated to do well on standardized tests. Researchers tested this theory with money as a motivator. This study shows American students do better when paid, but the Shanghai students who were paid didn't do better or worse because they have a better self-motivation from the start. If you are interested in finding out more about test taking and the factors that affect our scores, give Google a quick search or look at the College Board website and you can easily find more information about the fascinating and important topic. For Teen Perspective 2 News, I'm Lexi Silverman.
According to People magazine, parents at a high school in North Carolina were angry when they found out they'd need their checkbooks at graduation. A presentation said they'd be fined if they cheered. How much of a fine? $1,000. Police cleared up the issue, saying they'll only get involved for those who disturb peace. Hopefully, parents will be comfortable cheering for their child after this incident.
The Graffiti Warehouse and Alley in Baltimore is a safe space where artists are allowed to express their creative side through art. and painting, graffiti is not always seen as art. In fact, it's illegal. The warehouse changes everything. Teen Perspective's Danielle Bishop immersed herself in this new environment.
Photographers, videographers, models, and artists all convene in this colorful space to express their creativity. Graffiti Warehouse and Alley provides an area to make art without worry. In this secluded alley in the middle of Baltimore, people from around the world let their creativity flow through art.
The art is really amazing, and the alley is a very unique space.
Manager Gabrielle Morrissey is passionate about keeping the warehouse and alley open for everyone to enjoy.
But here, what we have in Graffiti Alley is, anyone can just come and paint, and they can come and paint wherever they like. They don't have to be a talented graffiti artist. They don't have to ask somebody for permission.
19-year-old Hannah Andrews came to this area for the first time and loved the experience.
I think anybody that's looking to start modeling should come here because the people were really nice and there's a lot of really cool spots.
She loves that the different types of artwork people create always has a beautiful meaning.
They always put their own artistic spin on it, and then you feel like you're in an art piece, really.
To learn more about Graffiti Warehouse and Alley, the petition, and how to donate, go to graffitiwarehouse.com. For Teen Perspective 2 News, I'm Danielle Bishop.
Coming up on Teen Perspective 2 News, a Baltimore tradition takes to the waterways and the streets. Watch hundreds of people dressed in bizarre costumes and situated in floats engineered themselves. See how they navigate through difficult obstacles and pair their passion for competition with art.
Welcome back to Teen Perspective 2 News. I'm Jessica Carnevale.
And I'm Brita Miller.
Want to save time booking appointments? Google's latest technology, Google Duplex, can work for you. Unlike Siri or Alexa, it initiates calls without robotic awkwardness, using and appropriate pauses after exchanges. It sounds just like a real person. The software will soon be available through Google Assistant in the App Store.
The American Visionary Arts Museum hosted its 20th annual kinetic sculpture race. Teen Perspective's Connor Wallace takes you to the colorful event.
When it comes to this race, what you call trash could be another person's vehicle. Hundreds of people come to Baltimore Harbor to watch the kinetic sculpture race.
I love the kinetic sculpture race because of the creativity. People come down, and it's not only the engineering of getting these human-powered pieces of art to move, but sometimes the art is incredible, and sometimes the art is really bad, but people are still willing to ride it around.
Contestants make their own vehicles and race them through various obstacles in many unique outfits.
It's a hard race anyway, 15 miles around the city of Baltimore, over mud pits and water pits and all of this, but it's about being together, being one city together. So we love Baltimore so much.
The kinetic race even has student participants from various high schools, like St. Paul's School for Boys.
We've been doing this for many years, and we've had the same basic structure that we modify each year, and it's become a running thing, especially since our teacher is a huge environmentalist. He loves stuff like this where you build your own car, nothing's gas, and we just come out, have a good time, see other great cars that come out.
These students dedicate a large amount of time to make these spectacular vehicles. Founder Rebecca Hofberger explains, the race is more than just creativity and art.
The biggest, hardest thing to do is to make positive social change. So you have to be fiercely creative to do that.
Hofberger hopes to change the perspective of the harbor for the people of Baltimore.
A lot of times the harbor was only used by, wealthy people and their yachts and things like that. Right. This is kind of Huck Finn. You can build your own vehicle and come and be the star of the harbor today.
If you want to learn more about the kinetic sculpture race and how you can get involved next year, visit kineticbaltimore.com. For Teen Perspective 2 News, I'm Connor Wallace.
You've heard of Uber, Lyft, and Zipcar, but what about renting your own car to complete strangers? You can share your car at any time. This may seem like a great way to earn some extra income, but some states set restrictions on how much you can make. Insurance won't cover most accidents, so the cost will fall on you. If you're interested in this service, visit the App Store and search car sharing.
Next on Teen Perspective 2 News, spring pollen gives many people a host of uncomfortable symptoms. Allergies are hitting many people hard, and this year you can learn ways to prevent it.
Welcome back to Teen Perspective 2 News. I'm Jessica Carnevale.
And I'm Brita Miller. Allergy season is in full force, and Jessica Carnevale got a chance to see how people are coping with their symptoms.
Thanks, Brita. Sneezing, coughing, itchy eyes. I went to the Towson Town Festival this month and witnessed this season of suffering. Do you feel like dancing? Probably not if you suffer from allergies. We went to Towson Town Festival to see the symptoms and how people are suffering.
Runny eyes, headachy, like trouble with breathing sometimes.
The pollen last year was really bad, and it has been bad this year, so my eyes itch and I sneeze a lot.
Seasonal allergies can affect everyone, so we asked people what they should do to make their allergies a little more bearable.
Every time you're outside, like today, go home, take a shower, because you'll wash all the pollen out of your hair, change your clothes, because it'll just be on your skin.
Howard Zuckerman agrees.
Don't get born with allergies. That's the first recommendation. The second one would be to try and, obviously when it's spring season, and particularly try and stay inside in the air conditioning as much as possible. When you're driving the car, keep the windows closed.
Allergies are common. About 50 million Americans have experienced symptoms. There are many things you can do to combat them, but options include allergy shots, antihistamines, and decongestants. Before you start hiding out inside, see your doctor and see what he recommends for you.
People always say that money makes the world go round, but as teenagers, it's not something we're always taught about. Teen Perspective's Jen Little has more on how to plan for your financial future.
Thanks, Brita. Like many of you guys, I'm going to be graduating soon, and while I've learned a lot in high school about history and algebra, I feel like learning about finance has been left out of the equation. So here at Teen Perspective, we're going to talk money. I'm here with Ted Murphy, a financial planner and today's resident expert on finances. Thanks for joining us today, Ted.
Thanks, Jen.
So I'm going to college in the fall, and I'm going to be working a job. What is the best way to save my money right now?
Well, Jen, if you are working presently and have $5,500 a year or less in income, the best place to save your money is actually in a Roth IRA. That vehicle would allow you to set aside money, assuming that you're going to leave it there for retirement age, and you'll never have to pay taxes on the growth. And that tax-free growth will be very powerful in the growth of your money over that time period.
So even though I'm only 17, I should start planning for retirement now?
Yeah, it's a tough concept to wrap your arms around, but it would make a huge difference for you if you could do that today.
So you're a financial planner and you do a lot with stocks, right?
I do, yes.
Is it okay to start planning now to get into stocks, even at such a young age?
I think it's critical to kind of appreciate the companies that you're investing in. And so if you go and buy a Starbucks coffee, it's a great idea to consider buying Starbucks stock. And if you enjoy using your Apple phone or using Facebook, all these companies provide an opportunity for places for you to put money and companies that you can invest in even at a young age. You can set up a brokerage account with your parents as the custodian. So you'd want to have them involved in it, just like setting up an account at a bank with the checking or savings account. And that's really the first place to start.
Okay. And what was the first stock that you've ever bought?
That's an interesting story. So when I was in grade school or high school cutting lawns as my first job, I saved up my money, and I loved buying comic books. And so there was an opportunity. They had an IPO, or an initial public offering, and it was an opportunity to invest in Marvel, the company that makes the comic books. And so I bought a handful of shares, not a whole lot because my lawn cutting job didn't pay that well. But that company eventually grew pretty exponentially, and I did very well in that company. So it was a great opportunity, and I think that even at a young age, that got me involved in this industry, and it really gets you so you can enjoy and participate in the market and invest and earn.
And now real quick, we were talking earlier about college. How can I keep saving for college?
So another vehicle that you could save into is a 529 plan. And like the Roth IRA, the earnings would be tax-free.
Okay.
And so you could use the 529 plan for that savings. And Maryland will actually give you a state tax credit for putting money in there, as well as not having to pay taxes on the earnings.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ted. Lots of good ways to save you money and make you more. For budgeting worksheets and other helpful links, visit our website at WMAR2news.com/teenmedia. For Teen Perspective 2 News, I'm Jen Little.
Welcome back to Teen Perspective 2 News. I'm Jessica Carnevale.
And I'm Brita Miller. According to the International Dairy Foods Association, the average American eats more than 23 pounds of ice cream per year. Teen Perspective's Jack Jankowski has the story of a local ice cream shop that is revolutionizing the way we enjoy the tasty treat.
Thanks, Brita. Whether you like chocolate, cookie dough, or rocky road, ice cream makes the world go round. I went to Hunt Valley to find out more about how Sub-Zero is changing the ice cream game forever. Sometimes on a hot summer day in Baltimore, all you need is a cold treat, blasted with liquid nitrogen at -321 degrees Fahrenheit.
Satisfying to me as the franchise owner to see that expression on their face of, wow, you know, this is really good.
Suzanne Fady is the owner of Sub-Zero Hunt Valley, an ice cream shop that makes its delicious desserts by blasting its ingredients with liquid nitrogen. This one-of-a-kind creation method keeps people coming back again and again.
We have a lot of loyal customers that have continued through, even through the cooler months. Sleet, snow, nothing kept them away.
Sub-Zero is celebrating its 1-year anniversary this month. And for Suzanne, the most important part will always be creating a relationship with the customers.
We start to recognize them. It's great. We had a customer come in yesterday. He hadn't been here for a couple of months because he was away traveling. When he walked into the store, I said, hey, you know, where have you been? And I said, your orange, vanilla, and waffle cone pieces. And he looked at me. He was surprised. But that's one of the things that my staff and I really take the time to get to know the customers that come in here.
In year 2, Suzanne and Sub-Zero hope to continue their success by adding to their already expansive menu.
They're working on a couple new flavors, some new sensations, which are our sundaes.
In addition to serving a great tasting product, Suzanne goes out into the community to use the frozen treat to teach science to all ages. For more information on Sub-Zero and to take a look at the menu, visit subzeroicecream.com. For Teen Perspective 2 News, I'm Jack Jankowski.
Well, it's been a good year here at the Teen Media Project at WMAR, and Teen Perspective's Janae Morris reports that many of the students in the program agree.
From anchoring to producing, from writing to editing, the students of TMP do it all to produce an amazing show each month. We interviewed some of the students to see what they learned from the program.
I learned so much when I was here.
You get to do cool things. This past school year, 12 students were chosen to see news from a new perspective.
I was really excited to do TV for the first time, especially with professional equipment.
There were some ups.
My best experience here was learning how to write my first package and having a whole group of people to help me.
And some funny downs.
It's really dry.
How big of a bite did you take? But through it all, we appreciate the program.
I love coming here and I would love to do it all year, like maybe do it more times a week.
And the people who have helped us every step of the way.
There's a lot of freedom. Donna really lets you do whatever you want and pitch her any idea, and she just wants you to go out and do the best piece possible.
It's been a great year, and thanks for watching. From Teen Perspective 2 News, I'm Janae Morris.
Well, that's it for this edition of Teen Perspective 2 News.
Thanks for watching, and goodbye.